Hello, it's Kevin here. Video time again. So this is Cambridge number 4, test number 3. As you know, we're running down from Cambridge 18 all the way to Cambridge number 1. And we're currently Cambridge 4, like I say, test 3, post-school qualifications in Australia. Now, the one in my book is not very clear because it's a photocopy, so I'll just use that picture as well. First thing though, as always, let me get my disclaimer out. I'll get it out and you can see fair use, etc, etc, copyright materials. Okay, so there we go, get that out of the way. So this is the original. The chart below shows a different level of post-school qualifications in Australia and the proportion of men and women who held them in 1999. Summarise, select, report the main features, make comparisons. Okay, so it's obvious just by looking. So, as I keep saying, one of the key things to get good scores is how you organise your information. Okay, so I started with postgraduate degrees first, so we can see men outnumber women in postgrad. Conversely, undergrad, women outdo men. And the outlier is the skilled vocational diploma, massively oversubscribed by men. Okay, so that's basically it. That's our 3, because there's usually 3 key trends and features. That's bigger than that, that's bigger than that, and that's bigger than that. And that's pretty much it. Just your 3 key trends and features. So as you'll see, I'll show you mine first. 164 words. I didn't really need, and I couldn't really think of anything else to write here, but I'll show you. So, introduction first, in paraphrase, the chart illustrates, shows qualifications post-school according to gender, men, women, Australians in 1999. Okay, that's it. Overview. Now, overall, it's clear that more men than women in postgrad, whereas more women than men in undergrad and vocational studies. It's a massive disparity. That's it. 3 key trends. So I started with postgraduate. Starting with postgraduate, the figures for the diploma, twice as many for men as women, 70-30%. Figures for masters, 60%, 40%. Undergrads, figures for a bachelor, 50-45. However, the diploma, 70-35. The outlier here is the gender gap in the skilled vocational diploma. Massive 90% for men, only 10% for women. That's it. There's nothing else. It's pretty straight. It's just that simple. For this one anyway. Okay. Now, let's have a look at some of my students. Well, learners, we should say. If you may or may not know, we have a group on Telegram, IELTS 9 Pro. And I post a topic and we invite student responses, and the first 5 I comment on. Okay, so 152 words. Okay, a little bit short. Now, attended is not qualified. Attended means you were physically present. Did you qualify? Maybe, maybe not. So what's your paraphrasing? That's the first thing. Now, key trends. There's 5 different levels. Yeah, but that's not a trend, is it? The trend is like in mine. This is bigger, that's gone up, that's gone down, this is a smaller, etc. That's a trend. What goes up, what goes down, what's bigger, what is smaller. That's a trend, right? So, simply saying there's 5 categories is not a trend. If you want to put that, you should put it in your introduction. 5 categories of post-school qualification. So, no trends there. Reluctant to qualify. How do we know they were reluctant to qualify? So, overview does not work. To explain precisely as opposed to what? Imprecisely. Practice less than 10%, skilled, practiced. Said it right. So, I'm not going to read all this, but this doesn't work at all. Right? It's very disjointed, not grammatically sound. not illogical at all. I'm not going to go through every single word and change it. So that doesn't really work. Next one, a little better. Now, just a key point, sex and gender, not necessarily the same. Sex is supposed to be your biology, gender is a social construct, if you believe that. But anyway, now, is this an overview? Overview is key trends and features. That's not an overview. Okay, so you've got men are this. Females are this. How is that making comparisons? You're simply saying men are this percent, and now women are this percent. That's not making comparisons. Okay, so that doesn't really work either. And in conclusion, it's not an essay, no conclusion. And look, here you've got no figures. High percentage. What percentage? Where's the figures and data? So that doesn't work either. Okay, now I can demonstrate, as I am doing now. The chart cannot. It can illustrate, but not demonstrate. Present perfect, passive. Why present perfect? We know when it occurred, 1999, simple past. Why only the postgraduate? What about undergraduate? What about the non-vocational? So that doesn't really work either. Then you've got a conclusion, which doesn't really work. We're more interested to further education, but the role of women was significant. So that doesn't really work either. I'm not going to comment on that any further. Who carried, achieved or gained is better. Okay. Now you've got figures and data. You don't put it in the overview, like it says, key trends, features, right? No figures or data. And the rest of it, the organization, so you've got postgrad, okay, then you've got a vocational diploma, then you've got undergraduate, and then you've got postgraduate diplomas and masters. So why? So this is kind of like, you've said it twice, postgraduate 70%. So how does that work? Okay, and this one, 135 words. It's way too short. Yeah. Gender classification, what you mean, men and women. Number of females were higher than males. Worth mentioning was widest position dominated by men. Okay, but what about the larger one, which is postgraduate? Men, well, look at it. A master's, 60% and 70. Undergraduate, 70 and 50. So it's obvious I would have put that first. Anyway, so I'm not going to make any further comment on those. So I'll just leave mine on the screen. Okay. Organization. All right. So introduction, key trends. Right. There's more in this. There's less in this. This one's the biggest. That's it. Right. Then start with postgraduate with the highest. Yeah. Figures, details, making comparisons. Are slightly less, are twice as many. Okay. Then moving down, undergraduates, not dissimilar, a double, you're making comparisons here. Then finally, the outlier here is the gender gap, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so introduction, overview, key trends, features, logical arrangement of information. If you do that, you'll get a decent score. Right, that's it. What can I say? So, next one, Cambridge 4, test number 4. I'll see you then.